literacy. This is not a new concern. With the emergence of social media and mobile technologies, the digital divide has morphed into a digital literacy divide. As a generation has grown up with this technology, lack of knowledge, a perceived generation gap, and fear of the unknown have incubated a whole mythology, the myth of the digital native. A large body of recent research debunks this myth. It turns out that kids know more than we give them credit for about life online. It turns out, too, that they have lots to learn. Bridging the digital literacy divide is not restricted to children and youth. As digital literacy becomes more and more essential for access to government services, civic participation, and employment, there's an increasing concern about levels of digital literacy in the adult population. Digital literacy skills are now being seen as essential to our continued national prosperity. So what do we know about kids' use of technology? A large body of recent research from Canada and the United States provides insights into kids' use of technology and associated cultural practices. The research also provides some insights into educators' perceptions and competencies around the use of technology for learning. Canada's Media Smarts has conducted a large longitudinal study, Young Canadians in a Wired World. Phase 3, released this year, provides some interesting insights into teen competencies that fly in the face of many of the assumptions and generalizations that have characterized much discourse over the past several years. Studies from the acclaimed Pew Internet Research Project in the United States corroborate many of Media Smart's conclusions. Their work on digital tools and writing is particularly relevant to this discussion. American researcher Dana Boyd provides further insight based on her extensive interviews with youth from across the United States. The introduction to Media Smart's Life Online report says it all. We are used to thinking that because kids have grown up with technology that they are far more skilled in its use than their parents' generation of digital immigrants. Ask many adults and they will say that kids are obsessed with technology, that it interferes with real life and real relationships. And that concern quickly morphs into outright fear about the dangers of life online. So what specifically are these myths, and what does the research say to debunk them? Myth: kids are naturally tech-savvy. It's clear that today's youth are mostly comfortable with technology. It's what they've grown up with, after all. The reality is that online media are used primarily for entertainment and communicating with friends and family. Canadian youth, teens and younger, like to socialize online. Teens have learned to do what is most authentic to their needs: social interaction and entertainment. As Media Smarts observes, the activity suggests that students may be more motivated to acquire advanced technical skills when doing so provides them with a direct benefit that affects them personally or socially. Myth: kids don't care about privacy. Ask most adults and they'll tell you that they are concerned about kids' willingness to share personal information online, that they have no idea of how to protect their privacy. Not true, according to the research. It turns out that kids do care about privacy. Again, their sophisticated skills in this regard are directly related to their authentic need, as teenagers, to control who should and who should not be able to see what they post online. Audiences matter to kids, and controlling their audience influences most decisions around privacy. At the same time, students have very little knowledge of data privacy issues. Media Smarts makes a call for more effective education in this area. Myth: cyberbullying is out of control. How big a problem is cyberbullying? Media Smarts asks. As they put it, judging by media coverage, which frequently focuses on the most sensational and extreme cases, it's an epidemic, and schools and legislators have often responded with heavy-handed measures. Students, on the other hand, often say that cyberbullying is less of an issue than most adults perceive it to be, though even they, in many cases, overestimate how common it is. The three components of bullying are aggression, repetition, and imbalance of power. Much of the behavior that adults regularly characterize as cyberbullying is often, MediaSmart says, less an attack of a bully against a victim than it is an ongoing part of the relational conflicts that arise as part of the drama of teen life. Researcher Dana Boyd provides deeper insight into expressions of teen drama in the online world. Boyd concludes that while varying forms of aggression and teen drama may be hurtful, using cyberbullying as an umbrella term for all behaviors is harmful and misleading. Myth: tech savvy means information savvy. When asked to name their favorite websites, predominant themes are online videos, gaming, and social networking, with the top 3 preferred sites being YouTube, Facebook, and Google in that order. MediaSmarts gave a mixed assessment of students' ability to understand context for information and skills for evaluating content. Myth: most kids are engaged in creative activity online. Creative uses of digital media, such as posting homemade videos or mashups, are still relatively uncommon. While a majority of kids are indeed creating at a basic level, posting comments or photographs on social media sites for social purposes, for example, creating online videos, mashups, and online collaborative writing are still relatively rare. And when they are happening, it's mostly outside of school. So much for the digital native. While today's students may have facility for using technology, that does not necessarily translate into its more advanced and literate use. Researcher Dana Boyd suggests that not disputing the popular fears and platitudes about youth and technology is inherently regressive. As she puts it, "I believe that the digital natives' rhetoric is worse than inaccurate. It is dangerous. Because of how society has politicized this language, it allows some to eschew responsibility for helping youth and adults navigate in a networked world." The good news is that kids want to learn. Top of the list, how to verify online information. Canadian kids want to learn how to search online, and they want to know about the information ethics around copyright. They want to learn about how companies collect and use personal information and how to use privacy settings effectively. The MediaSmart survey found, however, that they are not receiving this critical instruction consistently in school. There are many complexities for why digital literacy instruction is not consistent in school, but part of the problem is that educators do not fully understand that they do have something to offer the so-called digital natives in their classrooms. When it comes to the use of technology for learning in school, teachers' own lack of self-confidence is perhaps a symptom of the digital native, digital immigrant paradigm. There are some very interesting insights from a research collaboration between America's National Writing Project and the Pew Internet Research Project. The subject group of teachers included a significant percentage who had received advanced training in how to teach writing in a digital environment. The group as a whole outpaced the general population in almost all areas of technology use. Yet, almost half believed that their students knew more about technology than they did, and their own digital practices often went contrary to the advice they gave to their students. So, we've discovered the sophistication of technology learning that can take place through social motivation. The challenge is to foster deeper critical thinking in the use of network technologies in school, learning that is similarly authentic for our students, connected, social, and participatory. There is no doubt that this is the work of the Learning Commons, a whole school effort facilitated by the teacher librarian whose practice is grounded in good pedagogy, collaborative learning, integrating technology, and the ethical foundations of librarianship. In the Learning Commons, students learn to be critical and literate consumers, editors, and curators of information in all its guises, including social constructions of knowledge. The School Library Learning Commons extends into virtual spaces where students can access resources and work together collaboratively 24/7. Being literate today means being able to write in multiple media, words, images, video, and sound, individually and collaboratively. Finding opportunities to connect emerging writers with the technologies and resources they need to reach their audience is the work of the Learning Commons. Kids are comfortable with technology. The Learning Commons grounds that use of technology in imagination and creativity, cultural awareness, and social contribution. Learning in the Library Learning Commons is grounded in information ethics. As Together for Learning puts it, issues such as plagiarism, privacy, and copyright require surprisingly complex and deep understanding, as do bias, stereotyping, and gender. A successful Learning Commons promotes values such as intellectual curiosity, respect, responsibility, and initiative, all essential to personal and social growth. Seeing everyone as a learner is at the crux of the Learning Commons. In this environment, the teacher librarian can be a learning coach for teaching colleagues, supporting the meaningful integration of technology into learning, and fostering a culture of continuous learning. Digital literacy and the development of positive digital citizenship is the work of the whole school, empowered by a Learning Commons approach. The Ontario School Library Association's program guideline, Together for Learning, School Libraries and the Emergence of the Learning Commons, captures the vision and inspires ideas for implementation. The Canadian Library Association's Leading Learning, Standards of Practice for School Library Learning Commons in Canada provides a framework for any school to develop a true Learning Commons approach, with the school library at the hub. We have been seduced by the myth of the digital native for too long. We are doing a disservice to our students by not helping to develop deeper capacity for learning, creating, working, and participating in civic life in our networked world. We have used the myth of the digital native to frame our own fears and excuse for inaction. Attitudes in education are shifting, and there's more energy than ever before for effecting change. The challenge is ours, of course, to embrace the opportunity, challenge the stereotypes and fears, and be willing and open to modeling learning with and about technology. It is time to leverage this opportunity to advance the vision of the School Library Learning Commons and the professional leadership of 21st century teacher librarians. Please visit my website, bythebrooks.ca, to download the full paper.